Hello there, Taurus. Thank you so much for stopping by for your monthly in-depth tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the month of April, and I'm breaking it down into two separate sections. So we're looking first at April the 1st through the 15th, and then we'll come back and we'll look at April the 16th through the 31st. This is a video that is about Taurus and is for Taurus. Cross watchers, you are welcome to be here, but you do need to know that energies are not reversible here. So if you want to see a video that's actually about you and for you, you want to check your own sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or possibly Venus sign. Okay, so having said that, let's jump in. Taurus, we are looking at your home environment to start with. And what I'm seeing here is that you are actually going back to something the way that it used to be in your home environment. You may be going back to an environment, but whether you're going back to an environment or you're changing something in your environment back, you're changing it back to something the way that it used to be or something how it was. And I think that you're really enjoying this going back going back to whichever way it is. I think that you're really enjoying it a lot. However, once we get more towards the end of this time frame, the April 1st through the 15th time frame, I do think there's something going on in that environment that is making you feel a little bit disappointed. I'm thinking that whatever this is that you're going back to is doing what you wanted it to, mostly. But I think you were expecting a little bit more, and that little bit more is just not actually there, or not actually happening. Okay? Now, the next thing that I'm looking at does talk to me about your subconscious leanings during this time frame, Taurus. It looks to me like you're really focused on the idea that of things not going well and about there being some type of sudden and unexpected situation which makes you feel less secure than what you have felt. And it looks to me like this has to do with the idea of detaching from somebody. I think you're really afraid that, Taurus, what I have here is I really think that you are afraid that somebody is going to be detaching themselves from you or removing themselves from you, or removing their affection from you. And this is all in your subconscious. So far I'm not actually seeing any evidence of this in your actual life. No, I'm not seeing any evidence of that in the environment situation, and we'll just walk through and see what else comes up. But so far I think that this is just strictly a worry. I don't see this as anything tangible at this point. Next thing that I'm looking at does talk to me about your learning style and communication style during this time frame. So learning style, it does look like there's something you're trying to get more information on or find out about, but I think that information is pretty scarce and hard to find whenever you are doing that. We do have some other things that you're looking at where information is coming to you quickly, maybe even so quickly that it's a little overwhelming. You may not be ready to hear everything that you're hearing or finding out or seeing about whatever that is that you're focusing on. And then we do have you focusing on learning about money and how to take care of money and where is the money and what did it get spent on, and that type of thing is showing up here in your learning style as well. Now, looking at communication, I do think that you are starting some new conversations with different people in your life. And these new conversations, when I say new conversations, you're talking about things that maybe you've never discussed with these other people before, okay? Also, as far as communication style, I do think that there's somebody that you are sharing your opinion with, whether they like it or not. I think you're just coming in guns blazing, letting somebody know what you think. And then also on communication style, there is a lot of communication during this time frame that shows up that is about money. Money, money, money. Where is the money? Next thing that we're looking at talks to me about your work, Taurus. La da da da, la da da da. So it looks like you guys may have been out of work or taking a break from work, and it looks like you're going to be, for those of you who are out or taking a break from work, I feel like you're going to be going back to work. For those of you who are already working before April 1st, I feel like you're going to continue on with that work whether you like it or not. And for some of you, this may not be your favorite work, and I think part of the reason it's not your favorite work, at least right now, is because of the pandemic and precautions and different things that are happening because of the pandemic. Also at work, there's a lot that's going on that is happening behind closed doors. So there is some mysterious things that are happening behind closed doors. I think that some of the big bosses may be talking about money and finances and how things are going for the company, and I don't think that they're necessarily going to be real transparent with that with just the regular people that are coming into work. So if you're one of those bosses or, you know, higher ranking people in the company, you're going to be hearing about this. You're going to be asked to keep it a secret. If you're somebody that is not in those higher ranking areas, then there's going to be things going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. Okay? And then what else do we have about work? It does look like you've got a good team that you're working with at work, and everybody is pretty good at focusing on the goal and really pulling together to meet that goal. So that part is really good. Really good. Next thing that we're looking at here, Taurus, talks to me about that part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now. And I think what's going on is you're having a change in perception. You're changing the ideas. And I think that these ideas are about work. They could be about relationship too. Or they could be either or. But I think that where you have felt kind of hopeless about a situation, now you've got some new ideas about how you can handle this. And for me, every time I want to say that this is about work, Spirit nudges me, or it's about relationship. So for some of you, this is going to be actually work and relationship, but for others of you, it's going to be one or the other. But either way, I feel like you're getting really creative. You're starting to see how you could do things and be more self-sufficient. And if this is a relationship, how you could be more alluring. And if it's both, then both. And how that can bring in happiness into your life. So that's where you're growing or expanding right now. Excuse me a moment, please. The next thing that we are looking at now is going to be those things that you stand for, Taurus, and what somebody else thinks about you after they've heard you stand for these things. So this is talking about somebody is going to be coming to you and asking you for an explanation, or they may even be confronting you about this situation that you stand for. So like I said, we're just going to take a peek at what that situation is, and then we're going to look at how they feel about you and the situation after you've explained it to them. So your situation basically is that you have found something new that you're very interested in. This could be a new person, a new project, a new hobby, a new work idea, and it looks to me like you really were ready to move forward with this person or this idea, and it looks like basically you got dumped flat. There's somebody that just said, no, I'm not your person. I'm not the one for you. Or if this is a project that you went to somebody and said, you know, I'd really like to take on this project, then somebody said, no, we don't think you're it. And how this other person feels about this situation after you have explained this or stood for this to them, they see you as somebody who's a peacemaker, definitely. And I think they see the person who turned you down as somebody who doesn't have any kind of vision, somebody who doesn't have any kind of plan for the future. And it looks to me like this other person is considering going and talking to them and putting in a good word for you. And for some of you, this is more than putting in a good word for you. For some of you, this is somebody who's really kind of going to confront the other person. So you may want to be careful about what this other person walks away from this conversation with, as far as ideas about how they can come in and clean up this mess that's going on. You may want to ask them to not try to fix it for you. I guess we'll see what's going on in the rest of this spread and see if anything else comes up about that. The next thing that we're looking at is your flex period. So this is when you start to see things from a different perspective, and this is when you start interacting with the world in a different way, and so the world interacts with you in a different way. Things start to change direction. So what do we have? It looks like, Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So it looks like there's somebody from your past who has been really flighty and sort of on and off and in and out. And now they're trying to come to you and they're trying to say, well, I've changed. I've grown up a lot now. And they want a second chance with you. Whether this is somebody who wants to be a business partner, second chance, somebody who wants a second chance at friendship, or somebody who wants a second chance at something romantic. They're trying to say, I've grown up. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Would like to have a second chance with you. And I think you're saying, no, I'm not really up to that. Not open for it. At the same time that this is going on, it does look like there's something going on in your life that makes you really happy. I think you complete something, whether it's an orientation or a class or just some kind of phase. You're completing something. And what's happening is that some of your friends are actually finding themselves to be jealous of you, even though you're really happy at this moment. Now, at the same time that all of that is going on, plus your flighty person trying to say that they've grown up, I think you're basically saying, you know what, I can see baloney 10 miles away. I'm not interested in putting in energy or effort into this old situation. You've already proven yourself and who you are. Either if it's the friends, they've already proven to be jealous. If it's a partner of some kind, they've already proven to be flighty. So you're basically saying, you know what, actually, as a matter of fact, not only am I not taking you up on that offer, I'm cutting you out of my life. I'm not interacting with you anymore. And that's actually the best gift that you can give yourself, is what these cards are showing. Is to take care of you and set some boundaries. All right, and where do we see you at the end of this particular time frame? So the end, right around the 14th, 15th of April, we see you manifesting some wonderful things in your life. Not only are you manifesting some wonderful things, you're manifesting enough abundance that you've got some of that abundance to hold back, to save back for a rainy day or for some other time. And I think that a lot of how you're manifesting has to do with those things that you're learning right now, things that you are taking classes for, taking courses for. Maybe you're doing self-directed study. But there's definitely some things going on that you're learning that are helping you to manifest wonderfully as you move forward. Great way to end the cycle, Taurus. All right, so I'm going to take a second, come back, and then we will look at the last half of April. See you in a minute. Welcome back, Taurus. This time we are looking at your in-depth forecast for April 16th through the 31st. First of all, we are looking at your home environment, and what I'm seeing here is that there's something that comes up around your environment that I don't think you realized before. Something basically shows its true colors around your environment. And when we're talking about your environment, this could be the actual environment itself or about the people in the environment. So you could have a person in your environment showing their true colors just as easily. And I think what's going on is, if this is a person in your environment, I think when this person shows their true colors, you guys quit communicating with each other. It's time for the silent treatment, and you're just really not on the same page. However, if this is about something technical in your environment or something tangible in your environment, not a person, then this talks about the idea that there's not a lot of communication from the person who could do something about this or fix this or change this. And I think that whoever this person is that you would normally come to for these types of changes or fixes, I think that you are deciding that that is not your person anymore because they weren't responsive in that particular situation. Okay? Next thing that we're looking at does talk to me about subconscious leanings, Taurus. And what we have here is that there is somebody that you care about really deeply, and I think that you are hoping that whatever your situation is with this person is one that is not complete. So this could be, I feel like for some of you, this is a situation where you have had somebody in your sphere of influence that it looks like they're probably just going to be in it temporarily, and then, you know, life is going to take you two different directions or take them off in another direction from you at least. And you're hoping that this doesn't mean the end of contact for you and this person. You know, you guys could have come together and met at some kind of seminar or class, and you're hoping that you stay in touch. This could be, well, this could be a lot of things, but basically there's somebody that you care about a lot, and you are just very hopeful that whatever is going on, that the relationship that you have is going to continue moving forward in spite of circumstances that might make it a little bit more challenging to interact than what they have been. Okay? Now the next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about learning style and also communication style. There is something that I feel like you're doing on your own or with very little support. So something that you're learning and that you're at the point now of going almost solo on this. If you've been learning how to fly, this may be, you know, where you're being tested to see if somebody should turn you loose by yourself or not. You know, where this could be some practice flights where you have somebody that is with you, but basically you're in charge. But you know, this could apply in a lot of different ways. So it's something that you're doing, and I think that you're doing it almost alone. There's a little bit of support there, but I think the normal amount of support that you had in the beginning is no longer there, and you're moving towards that idea of being able to handle this completely on your own. You're in the middle of that growth process. Also, during this time frame, I do think that you're learning about something that has to do with your feelings. And I think you're finding out about something that's going on in your subconscious that is sort of controlling how things go in your life. And I think that that's coming to light, where maybe before it was always working on autopilot, now you're starting to understand some of it. And the other thing that we see you learning about, once again, is money. What happened to it? Where is it? How do we make it? How do we bring in more? That type of thing. Next thing that I'm looking at does talk to me about communication. Lots of new communication with new people and people that you've known before. So lots and lots. I feel like this has come up. So far I've done you and Aries, and I think 3 out of 4 time frames between those two videos this has come up. Lots of new communication coming out, lots of new conversations. I do think that there's a lot going on where you are really telling somebody the truth. For some of you, you could be testifying in some type of court situation, but for others of you, it could be just the idea that maybe you have a friend that doesn't know the truth about something and really wants to know the truth. I think that you are telling the truth there. I feel like you are telling the truth in such a way that it is benefiting a lot of people, some of whom are not even in your sphere of influence, or at least not in your direct sphere of influence that you would know their names or know their faces even. And then last thing that we have you communicating about is, once again, money, 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 honey. You guys are Taurus after all. You are interested in those things that are tangible, and money is one of those things that are tangible. All right. Excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back. Thank you. So next thing that we are looking at, Taurus, is work. And so, what do we have going on? You guys, you may be working from home. If you're not working from home, it may be that you have been working away from your home office or away from your regular space that you normally would work in, and you're coming back to that. Some of you may be going to the home office for some kind of training or celebration or something like that as well. So working from home or going to the home office, I don't see you being very happy with work. Even with that working from home or working at the home office, I'm more inclined to think probably working from home, but maybe we're finally at the point where coronavirus is letting us social distance, be around each other a little bit more with less social distance, and maybe it is actually at the home office. Right now I'm making this and it's still the end of March, so this is talking about only a month away. I would be surprised. So I think probably we're working from home. I think that maybe this is not the most ideal setup for you. You're not looking like you're very happy from it. But you do have a new idea, and I think you have a new idea about how to make this work or about something else that you can do instead to actually make money. So some type of new idea coming in for a workable solution for you one way or the other. Next thing that we are looking at, Taurus talks to me about that part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now. And it looks to me like you're approaching somebody about sharing or loaning or granting some type of resource to you to help recover from something. And so to me, this is probably some type of financial recovery. This may be about something like a mortgage. This could be about some other type of loan. But this is, I think that this is somebody that you have gone to before for help. Whether they helped you in the past or not, I'm not sure from this set of cards, and it's a general reading, so it won't give me specific answers for each one of you. But I think you're going back to this person or back to this company. Maybe it's a loan company of some kind, but you're going back to this person or company and asking for some help financially to keep things from falling apart as far as security-wise and as far as covering your bills type of situation. All right, next thing I'm looking at is that thing that you stand for, Taurus, and also how the person who confronts you or asks you to explain that thing feels about you in this situation after you have had your conversation. So the situation, what's the situation here? Situation that we're looking at tells me that there have been some things that you have really wanted to manifest or create in your life, and it hasn't worked out the way that you want it to. And part of the reason it hasn't worked out is because there's been some kind of fight that happened, but you're seeing now in retrospect that it actually turned out to be a good thing after all. How the other person sees you after you've explained the situation is they see you as somebody who was able to find something that makes you happy in collaboration with somebody else, but that it was not working out. So in other words, you had this idea about being able to create what you wanted to create your happiness, to bring in your manifestation by collaborating with somebody else, but that didn't work out. And so now they see you as having options and looking at, okay, what are those options in front of me that I could do to improve my life right now? Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to look at, Taurus, is your flex point during this time frame. So we're going to look at a situation that really sort of changes your perspective. And as it changes your perspective, it changes how you interact with the world. And so that is going to change what direction you're taking. So Taurus, it looks like there is something that you had put on the back burner in the past that you're bringing up now and beginning to move forward with again. And I think that there's some indecision around this as you move forward with it. I think there's a lot of confusion right off the bat. And I think that you basically stop working on this just as quickly as you've started because of the confusion that's coming in. I feel like there are people around you saying, do you really think now's the time? You know, and just kind of questioning everything here. at the same time that this is all going on, there is this idea that you're giving somebody a gift. And I think what's going on with this gift is that whoever you're giving this to is not being very grateful about this. It's almost like they don't understand what it took for you to actually give them this gift. And so they are, I feel like they are, I won't say they're snubbing the gift. I think they're receiving the gift. It's not that they're telling you, no, keep it. But I do feel like they are, I feel like they're snubbing you in some way. I'm not sure if they're using this gift to do something that they know you wouldn't appreciate. And I think they're kind of, I do think that's what's going on. And I think they're kind of worried about, well, is this person going to find out what I used their gift for? So I see them as kind of looking over their shoulder like, are they catching me? Am I going to be able to get away with this? And then also at the same time, once again, we have confusion coming up, and part of the reason we have confusion coming up is because somebody is giving you some advice that really is no good. And this advice is saying for you to let down your boundaries and let somebody come in closer to you than what you have allowed them before. And this could be emotionally, but this could also be somebody advising, you know, well, I think that would be a great investment if you would just give in to this person and give them some money and let them do something with your money. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be about investments. It doesn't have to be about money, but you're getting some advice here that is telling you to let down your boundaries. And I think that you're really confused. I think you asked for this advice. And as we have you letting down your boundaries, I'm not so sure. Well, I know that that's not good advice, actually, from the cards that are here. I know that that's not good advice. So if somebody tells you to let down your boundaries, then at least during this time frame, you want to do exactly the opposite if you really want a good result, because that's not good advice. All right, where do we see you at the end of this time frame with the way the energy's laying today? I think that you're feeling very hurt because there's somebody who has cut you out of their sphere of influence, and I feel like you were trying to be there for this person in your own way, but yeah, they just were not. I think that they just were not receptive. This may be the same person that you tried to give a gift to, and they took the gift, but they weren't really appreciative of the gift. This person basically is cutting you out, and I think that this is really hard on you because to me, it looks like you really had invested in this person and had high hopes for what you thought that they could accomplish or be able to do, especially with your help and with your advice. So I don't see that as being a very pretty situation, Taurus. I'm sorry. All right, but anyway, that is where we see the month ending. Obviously, there's some good stuff mixed in with the bad stuff. It's just like real life because we're reading about real life. So, and there are opportunities in there to change some energy. I kind of pointed those out to you so that you can have better outcomes. So I'm going to wish you all the best of luck on your month. If you would like to get a private reading where I can look at your particular energy, feel free to do that. There is a link in the description box for my website. You can check me out there. And all my contact information is on my website. Just get a hold of me with that and we'll get something scheduled for you. For those of you that I don't see here for our private session between now and then I will see you back on the next video. Peace out.